It's our grandma's birthday. Ezinne comforts Nzeduru, and we, her children and grandchildren, have compiled questions we would like to ask her. One, because we love her so much, and secondly, because we want to glean from her wisdom. So sit back and enjoy this amazing podcast. Thank you so much. By the way, we wish you happy birthday. And we
Thank
all love
you.
you so much. So we've gathered some questions from your children and grandchildren, and I'll be asking them one after the other. And the first question, it has to do with your name. So your name is Comfort. Now, somebody wants to know that was your name Comfort given to you because of a particular situation that happened in your family, or was it just a name that your mother chose for you?
My full name is. Do I put my title name?
Yes, you can, ma.
Ezinne Dem Comfort Nzeduru.
Okay. And why did your mommy give you the name Comfort?
My mom gave me another name. I chose that name when I was baptized.
Oh, okay. So it's actually just a baptismal name.
Yes, it's my baptismal name. My name is Ada.
Ah, I see. That's lovely too. Okay. So what was it like to go to school as a girl during your time? What was your experience going to school?
Because I saw some of my fellow girls going to school, and one day I went to my marital home. I saw during anniversary some women doing some plays and the concerts.
Mm.
So I loved it. So I told my parents that I want to go to school.
Oh, okay. And what was your experience like going to school then?
My
Experience. What was it like back then?
oh, oh,
It's been a long time now. So what was it like?
I like to when I was even I was alone from my home to the school. I was going all alone. I enjoyed it because I saw some of my fellow women, some who are
Mm.
teachers, and I like to do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's really amazing. So when you gave birth to your daughters, what challenges did you face sending them to school?
The challenges, it's me and my husband, not I alone. No.
Yes,
uh,
yes.
uh, that time we used to get as many children as we like, not as it is now.
Yes.
We like to give birth to many children. So the challenges we had was that things was very difficult to us then by catering for the children.
Mm, okay. And even though things were difficult, what, made you to still decide to send your girls to school?
Um, Before I got married, I was a teacher, and
Okay.
my husband refused that I should work after marriage.
Okay.
When I saw some my colleagues working, and
Mm,
I was not working, I was not happy. I said, no matter how poor we are, my my children should be educated. That's why
mm.
we managed and sent them to school.
Oh, okay. And did all of them grow up with you?
Yes, they all grew up with me.
Okay. And so when you were growing up, was there a particular career you wish you pursued, but you were not able to pursue it? And if yes, why did you not go for it? Was it because of money or your family or your husband?
When I grew up, I wanted to work while I am married, but my husband, no, before then, I was selected to go secondary school. My father said I should not go, that he has no money to train a woman.
Wow.
So I didn't go because women were not given the chances as they give now, they have now.
So the time you started going to school, you mentioned you wanted to be a teacher. Was that all you wanted to be back then?
Yes, I wanted to be a teacher because that was the career for the girls that time. Our
Yeah.
area is a rural area. We don't see much of government workers also, only teachers. So that was a common work for us in our area that time.
Okay. Okay, that's understandable. So, one of your granddaughters, she's saying that she has been married for a little while now, and she understands that marriage is not easy. So she wants to know your secrets for, staying long in marriage until grandpa died, and how were you able to, remain sane in your marriage through all the challenges you faced?
As I grew up, when I was working, I I married at a reasonable age. I didn't find it
How old
difficult.
is a reasonable was a reasonable age for you?
At that
How old
time,
were you? Yeah.
I, I was about 20 or 21. I didn't calculate, but I'm guessing now.
Oh, that's so young. Yeah.
Uh, According to the age they gave me in school,
Yes.
you
Okay,
know,
okay.
that time, our parents, they did not write our date of birth, but they wrote it my own. I didn't find it. So I
Oh,
couldn't have, my parents were not Christians then, uh, but some Christian females of my age, those who their parents baptized and gave them age, they know their age. I didn't know my age then.
okay. So we can just assume that you were in your early 20s.
At least I was up to 25 then. Uh,
Oh,
I was
okay.
up to
Okay,
25
okay.
then.
So you were telling me about how married life was and how you were able to stay long in marriage.
You know, our time and this present time, they are not the same. We used to be
Yeah.
obedient to our parents and to our husbands. Eh? That
Yes, ma'am.
time. Anyway, my husband was good to me in marriage.
Mm,
I mean, he did not, he was kind to me and we loved ourselves. So nothing disturbed our marriage. The only thing could have disturbed it is females all the time. Uh, but we
uh,
managed and overcame it. Because my parents-in-laws were worried. The only boy I got that time died. They were worried that I have no boy. They should bring in another woman. That is what could
mm.
have disturbed our marriage, but yet it did not disturb us.
And how did you feel the time grandpa died? Was he sick? What
Yes,
happened to him? And
he was sick before he died.
okay, and after he died, you never thought of getting married again. Why?
Hey, I was old enough. I was, he died after we have some of my children have got their own children. Eh?
Oh,
So there was no need thinking of any marriage again. Oh. And it was not
oh,
our custom to do so in our area.
mm, oh, okay. And your children now, I think you have nine biological children. Based on
Uh,
some of the challenges you've seen them go through and how they've
uh,
lived their you know what is one thing that makes you proud having lived this long to see their successes?
yes, I was very happy because they were academically and in their
Yeah.
marriages. And so I
Mm,
was proud. And they made me proud too because they were looking after me very well with their husbands.
mm,
Uh, so that
oh,
made me proud uh, and made me
okay.
think of getting male child or no male child.
So after you finally got a male child, how was your the reception from your in-laws?
My in-laws, we were all in good terms. So even before some of them died, we were in good terms. I was, even though I visit them, they visit me, they made me happy.
Okay, but what would you say was the most challenging thing in marriage apart from trying to find a male child? What was the most challenging thing for you?
The only thing was the difficulty in training the children. That is the great challenges because when my children grew up together, you know, as we bond, the two or three can be in school, even in university, we find it difficult. But that notwithstanding, some of my children and their husbands, they helped us to bring up their other children behind them.
Did you have a favorite child?
one one thing I learned from my mother-in-law, is that
Yes.
she doesn't hate any of her children. That is the lesson I learned from her. I didn't hate anyone, whether good or bad, but they were all trying. I didn't hate any.
So let's come to your faith. Were you born a Christian?
No, I say my parents were not Christians. I started going to church when I grew as a child. I follow other children to go church.
So, one of your grandchildren wants to know, any word of advice to encourage young people in the faith to persevere in God. Because, as time changes, even the challenges we face equally change. So, some challenges that, we young people are facing now, it might not have been present in the 90s. So, how do you still maintain your faith in God, considering some of all these challenges?
I advise my grandchildren to be loyal and faithful to their husband because if the family are united, are in love, they can overcome any challenge. Anyone that has a husband, let that person love her husband and live peacefully. Not that they will not have quarrels, they will have, but they know how to settle it within themselves and not invite any visitor who may come and spoil and give worse advice, and they will not live together or in peace again. That is my advice. They will live in, they manage to whatever they have or whatever their husband, let them unite together so that their children will be trained. And without the children, there is no hope for any woman at the old age like this as I am now. If not my children or my grandchildren, I can't be successful or happy as I am now. So I would advise them to live peacefully, not to separate, not to hate their husband.
What do you think about women being financially independent, either before or after marriage? What's your thought on that, ma?
Uh, you know, men are good, men are bad. Some are good,
Yes,
some are bad. Uh, you cannot trust, especially men of this present time.
yes,
Not every man will give all his love to the wife. He may look outside. So financially, it's not good to give all you have to your husband. You can
mm.
help to bring your children up and help your children, but not all, because you don't know tomorrow.
What would you say, Mama, is the key to a fulfilled life? The most important key to a fulfilled life?
By the grace of God, if a child grows in my old age, I
Yes,
think
ma.
it's what that child, I would like to, for that person to still take care of the family. That is me and the others. Eh? You cannot leave me alone. If you leave me alone, I can't be happy. But if you communicate with me and ask of me, because without the help of children or grandchildren, the old age has no meaning.
The question is, what is that thing that you would do that will make you happy for a long time? Like your advice to young people.
I would advise the young children or any young man or woman, get married as you grow, get a
Mommy.
husband. Uh-huh. Yes, when you get married, you get your child. That your child is your hope. Is the hope of your future happiness. I don't know whether you understand me.
Yes,
That
I do.
child is the hope of your future happiness. Without a child, there is no happiness in life. Because
Yes, ma.
when there is sickness, who will take you to hospital? When you are hungry, who will take care of you? So I would advise any of my grand or great children to get married, unless it is a destiny that will make that one not to marry. But let not pride or education or wealth prevent you from getting married. Get married
Mm.
and get you one, two children or more so that you have a future hope.
Okay, 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 okay. Let's see how the youths will take that. Okay,
That is how I see it from my own experience. I talk from experience.
I totally understand that. Okay, so let's look at a little history. Now, one of your daughters wants to know, why did Ojuku tell go on Aburi with an
And Aburi will stand. They
yeah,
say in Nigeria, secede, divide, stand and have a central, like the United States. You the
yeah,
uh, this state will be on his own. This one will be on his own, and they have a central communication savings. I don't know how to call it, but let there be one Nigeria in divided states. Eh?
yeah, yes.
When they agreed that, then when Gowon went back, I don't know whether he was advised not to agree. So that is one of the reasons there was a war.
During that period of war, where were you at the time? Were you in Imo State?
Yes, I was at my home. We were at Enugu. before the war break out, the Nigerians entered Enugu. We have to, but then I was at home to send my children, my first two children, to school uh, because they were in secondary school then. I took them home. I was there in Nuguran. Even all our properties was left. We didn't take anything home. So I was at Ezoke then, but we were living at Enugu when the war broke. So when they enter Enugu, Enugu people ran. Everybody ran. I was not there to take anything home. That is what happened.
So when you ran, where did you run to?
We were at Enugu. Eh?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I went home to send my children to their schools, those in
Yes, ma'am.
secondary school. Uh-huh. So what happened then? When war entered into Enugu, my husband came home. Some people came home. We didn't know, and didn't, I was only safe because me and my children were at home already. So all our properties got lost at Enugu.
That must have been very painful to experience for you and your
Uh,
family.
but
So,
as we are alive. We are alive. We thank God for that,
mm,
and we are in our own home. We didn't run to any other place. That is the most
yeah.
important thing. Uh,
So that does it mean
those
that the war did not get to the villages?
it enters some villages, not our own. Also,
Oh,
also our village was the last place before the war ended. People ran into our own village. We didn't run to other places. The day we were about to run to another village was the day the war ended. One of my brothers, who was a captain in the army then, came to me and asked us not to go any place, but to take my grown-up girls into the bush so that the army Nigerian soldiers will not take them in marriage.
and did you take them to the bush?
Anyway, there was a village near to us where they were. We brought them home. Then what we do is during the day, we go walk in the bush. After evening, we come
Mm-mm.
home.
Oh,
I didn't and not allow them to go outside, like where people, where soldiers will see them. They were
yeah.
indoors.
I said because they were fine girls now.
Uh,
And Auntie Carrie is there. Oh, she's not hearing me.
Karo and they did. They were the only
And then
grown-ups I had then. Uh,
okay, so
uh,
let's move from that to your community. How was St. Paul's Church in Ezuke? How was it built
St. Paul's Church
in
was the
Ezuke?
first in Ezoke was the first church in that area. Ezoke, they used to call it a district to them. Eh?
Yes, ma'am.
The first place that church came was Ezoke. And that is why you see Ezoke is civilized. And
Yeah.
most of them went to school. Most of them, both male and female, went to school. They were not like my
Mm,
village where my father said women don't go to school. But Ezoke people,
yeah.
they sent both their girls and the boys to school. In those days, even now, it's a civilized town, but with many branches. It's the mother church in that area.
That means it was built even when you were a very young person.
I'm married at Ezoke. I'm not born in Ezoke.
Oh, okay.
I'm married there. I was not born there, but I'm talking from experience. Uh,
Mm.
my village is different from Ezoke.
So
Uh,
let's talk about the process of aging. So I know I have come across, one of your pictures when you were still a bit younger. And now that you've seen the different phases of life, what has that experience been? Going from that very beautiful, young, vibrant mother of 9 children, sending them to school, so now watching all of them get married. How has the process of aging, how has that been for you?
you know, they say old age is a regret, but it is a
Really?
regret when that's the adage
Oh,
because of
okay.
what happens during old age. But my own is not a regret at all because,
uh,
uh, like I said before, both my daughters and their husbands, they took good care of me.
mm,
That is why it's good to get a good husband. Their husbands, they didn't care. They took my family as they took their own family. Uh,
mm,
and that love has continued now. Now, my children are getting old to take care of themselves now. But
mm,
most my family, my health or anything about me is being taken care of, like taking great care of me. So I don't regret anything about old age, even though
mm,
it is not so sweet as when you were young. But when you
mm.
see some who will say, Mama, do this, Mama, do that, take this, eat this, what do you want? You don't regret it at all.
What do you think, there's any secrets to long life?
I don't know. I think it is a gift from God. And the
Mm,
way you keep your life, eh?
yes,
If
ma'am.
you live well, keep your life well, minus sickness, if you are not wayward, waywardness is one of the things that damages life.
Mm,
Some women, when they are young, they will flirt, go here, go there, looking for money, looking for men, looking for sugar daddies and all whatnots. From there,
mm-hmm.
they may carry one disease or not, any other one, which may lead to short life. Eh?
Yeah.
But if you keep yourself well, live your life well, good relationship with your God. The most
Mm,
important thing is to uh, relate with your God in a way that God will love you and take care of you. People may take you, your children may love you, but if God does not love you and give you what He likes to give you that is good, you may not inherit it. That is how I understand it. I didn't buy it with money and not by strength. I didn't fight to
mm,
get it, but even though I had obstacles, but I was encouraged by the word of God and by the men of God, and then the help of my children that led to my old age. But I feel it is a gift from God, not that somebody buy it. Even though my uh, mother died at a ripe old age. My mother-in-law, the same thing. So with their blessings and the God's blessings, I feel it is what is taking me to this land
are any of your friends still alive that you met when you were very young?
with my own age. Anyway,
Y-
I doubt. But there is
Uh,
one old woman. That one is 100 and about 120 years now.
what?
But you see her feel very strong. She walks.
Hmm.
She sees very well. She can cook. I don't know her own talent is quite different from others. She moves now, a very old woman. And when I remember her, I pick up courage.
Most of the people personally that their marriages had problems, what were some of the major causes that made their marriages not last long for people you know?
Some, like I said, some don't like the person of their choice, and if they are forced
Yeah.
into marriage, that marriage, eh? I remember one woman when we were when I was a scholar. Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
she she didn't like to marry the man. The parents say because of Christianity, they were from Christian homes. They don't want to. Uh, uh, they don't want to change their mind. The
Hmm.
eve of the eve of the wedding, that lady ran away from the husband's wife. I mean, her husband's house. Then they find her,
Wow.
and she was forced to get married with that man. Then they wedded, and they went to north. When they went to north,
Hmm.
she was having, uh, I think, either the first or second pregnancy. The house has shoot her husband with the arrow. The husband died when she has nothing, and she came back home. And the husband brother wanted to marry her. I don't know whether they married her or didn't marry her. I don't know. But all I know is she died young. She died
Oh.
young. And though the boy she born before, she was pregnant when the husband died. So that boy she born was successful, and they trained her, they trained him, and he became somebody uh, to remember that family. That is, but she didn't live long. She died young.
Hmm. Well, that's really very sad. So, by the way, one of your granddaughters wants to know if you think marriage is for everybody, or do you think there are some people that can't actually just live their lives without getting married?
From my own experience, I don't think marriage is for everybody. There are people who
Okay.
wanted to. There are people who want to get married, but they can't marry. I say it's not really for anybody, according to my own
Yeah.
understanding. Uh,
Okay.
some may try to get married for one reason or the other. She may not get married until old age. Some may get married with one reason or the other. They might not stay in that family. I mean, in that marriage, they will come home. So I
Mm.
feel it is not for everybody.
So grandma, you got married. What's your best memory of grandpa?
My best memory of him, he was a very
Yes, ma'am.
gentleman. He doesn't like quarreling. Even if you want quarrel, we leave here and go away. As I see some people with
Oh.
their husband fighting, my husband is the last person to touch you and beat you. Eh? It's a good memory of him. That he never gave me trouble as I see in some marriages today, even during our own
Mm.
time. He, uh, he never gave me. I was happy with him.
Oh, that's so sweet.
They say policemen are wayward. If he was wayward, it's a secret one, not to my own notice. He was good. I'm brought up in a Christian family, and that is how he grew. He held that life. Even his brother, they were good, not financially, but the character.
Now, Mama, let me ask you this question. So, if you were to do it all over again and you see grandpa, right? Or you see another man, but he's, but he's wealthy. Which one would you choose?
I would choose to marry that man I knew, that I lived with him happily, than to marry a wealthy man that I don't know. What matters in a family is happiness. No more.
Is there any story or any particular, it could be somebody's life story that happened that you think can serve as a lesson to other people, either positively or negative, depending on what the story is, that you would like to share with us, your children and your grandchildren, so that we can equally learn.
I can tell you about tiger and the sheep. Um, Tiger uh, and the sheep, they say they will born. Anyone that born, bring her her own child, they will eat. Eh?
Okay.
Then when sheep born, she will bring the afterbirth. Do you
Mm.
know what is afterbirth? That thing that come out with a placenta.
Oh, okay, yes.
She will bring placenta. They eat. She will hide her own child in a cave.
Okay.
Then uh, tiger will bring his own child, her own child, and they will share. When tiger born one beautiful child, she said that she will not bring this one. She didn't know that the sheep has got many children hidden in a cave. Then
Mm.
they say they will go, if today they will call it churching, but in those days they go Ahia Omogo. So they will go so that people will give them something. Selected a market day, they will go. Then when they went, the day they were to go, tiger brought only one child. Then
Mm.
sheep will go to the cave and say, Ma, the children will come out. So they go, they go market. People were giving presents to sheep, saying she has many children, but tiger, you have only
Mm.
one child. So when they went back, the tiger say wanted a way to eat the sheep's uh,
Shoot.
uh, children. She asked sheep to give her one of the children to come and nurse her own child. Then the sheep asked her children, say, he come and question them one after the other. Say, what? How many times something will happen to you before you know something? This we
Mm.
say 10 after 10, 11. Some will give
Mm.
their number. Uh, they will give their number as they like. Then he asked the one that they called wave lacker. I don't know what to call it in English. If lacker, that is somebody that has sense more than others.
Oh, okay.
Ask her, how many times will something happen to you before you hear? He said, she will hear, learn from what happened to another person. She will not allow something to happen to her before she
Ah,
will. Uh,
learn.
she
Mm.
will, she will learn from others what happened to others. Then she will say, "It's you that will go to nurse Argo's child." Then he sent her. Then it's a long story, but there is
Yes.
sense in it. Um, when he go, Argo one day, Argo as the two children they sleep together, I go come and
Mm.
take a something pet her own child, and they live with lack. When they sleep,
when Vlaco will use wipe away that thing, tiger take to paint his own child, and they paint himself, and they paint it to Argo's child and leave him alone. Then the tiger fights with the left hand. Then uh, the when Vlaco will carry Argo child, put on the left side, and keep herself on the right hand. Then when Argo wake up, he begin to kill the child on his left side. Then we call
Mm.
her, mommy, mommy, you're killing me. I'm your child. He said, no, when did I born you? You are not my child. So he killed her. Then they cook it. Uh, when they were cooking, when Flacco did not allow Agu to see him, he was hiding behind near the fire where they were cooking. They eat.
Mm.
Then he keep one leg. Then in the morning, Agu went to tap his wine.
Yeah.
Vlaco waited until he climbed the highest palm tree. Then he carried the leg of his child to come say, I, Agu, yeah, you have eaten your own child. See the leg of your child, oh, you have eaten it. Yeah, before you come down. Uh,
Mm.
Vlaco will run. Before you come down from the palm tree, Vlaco will run a distance. When if I follow, you come climb this pepper fruit tree. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes,
uh,
mommy.
uh, he say, when a tiger reach there, he say, look, you will see how I will come down. Then a Vlaco will eat the pepper fruit. Then put it for Argos eye. Uh, before before Argo will come down, a Vlaco will run away. That is how was it treating, playing tricks to Argo until he reached her mother's house. Then
Mm.
when he reached the mother's house, she told the mother what happened to her.
To
Yeah,
her,
and the
yeah.
mother, and then the mother say, yes, you are a wise child. If to say others went, they don't have come back. So
True.
and this child is the child that listens and he knows how things go. Nowadays, some children will be there moping. They will not understand what is happening until they
Mm.
catch them, or until they kill them, or they do anything with
Yeah.
them. But any
Mm.
brave child will know how to escape any trouble. So that is the end of the story.
It actually has a lot of moral lessons. And I just pray
Eh?
that, God would. I said it has a lot of moral lessons in it. And I pray that God will give us wisdom to navigate our time and know when, we are being fooled by others. So thank you so much for sharing that beautiful story. So the second
Thank you.
question is, who is John Hogman?
John Plowman. John Plowman
Okay.
is the name of the title of a book I read. Some of the
Oh,
stories,
okay.
some of the stories in that book is one. It says, I hate a maid who dresses as if she will be called a housewife. I hate a man, a maid who dresses as if she will be called a housewife. Another one is a hunch man does not look at his own hunch, but he points at his neighbor. And another one, it says, no looking glass tells a woman that she is ugly.
That's very, very true.
And that's the few I can remember as at now.
When did you read this book?
It's a long time ago. Time we used to read books when I was teaching. I used to read
Yeah.
novels, and
Oh.
after I have got my standard six, I used to read some novels. It's during reading novels that I got this story.
So, what would be your final words to your children and your grandchildren as we prepare to close out this session?
What I will advise them is let them live peacefully with their children and their husband,
Mm.
those whom their loved ones are living, and let let them be in love and peace with their children. As I am now, I'm in my daughter's house, not in my own home. If there is no love, if there is no likeness, I will not be here. So that is why it's good to be in peace with your children, and they don't give your children any bad advice. Give them what will help them in their own marriage and in their own homes.
What of for your grandchildren? Advice to your grandchildren.
My grandchildren too, you know, this time there are changes. What my children saw is not what my grandchildren are seeing now. Even now, it is hard to find husbands, but I
Hmm.
will I will advise my grandchildren, those who have not married, to get married. Like I said before, there is no happiness without a child. Eh? If the person marry and they did not get child, they can adopt and they have somebody to live with than to stay spinster forever, unless that person has no luck for marriage. And let everybody struggle. Don't depend on your husband, and don't depend on any other person. Make struggle for yourself, because a husband alone cannot build a happy home. Wife alone cannot build a happy home. When the two are joined together, they live together, they love their children, the family will be a happy home.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Grandma. We've come to the
Thank
end
you
of
for
this
caring.
session.
Thank you, and God bless
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Remain blessed in Jesus.
Amen.
I pray for your husband coming home.
Hey, don't
Well,
let Uncle you don't be here. He will not let me to hear what do. No problem. Thank you so much.
thank you, and God bless you.
Okay, Grandma.
Uh,
Thank you. Have a
thank you
nice
for caring.
day.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Bye, ma.